Welcome to Bad Influence. If you've ever copied a game, you've broken the law. This week we explain the rights and the wrongs of piracy.
And our main review is Yoshi's Safari on the SNES. Yup, at last another Super Scope game. And how I used a computer to design a stylish Bad Influence dress.
But first, ever fancied yourself as a TV director? You have? Then step in here. As far as directing is concerned, this is where it all happens. Directing in television is an easy job. You sit in a chair like this, you look at a bank of monitors, and you let the vision mixer do it all for you. Brenda is our Bad Influence vision mixer, and she uses this great bank of switches and buttons to choose what you see at home, whether that's cameras, or Z's Fun from America, or the reviews, or whatever. So how does it all work, then, Brenda?
Right, this is a basic cut where picture changes. This is a mix where it dissolves.
Right.
That's a wipe.
That's good.
A bit jazzier wipe. And an even nicer one.
Terrific. To be honest, vision mixing is one of the hardest jobs in telly, and if you've got a Mega CD, you can try it at home now. This system over here will let you make your own pop promos or videos for C&C Music Factory. It contains video footage from C&C's own videos and also some sort of wacky black and white footage from vintage films. The setup is very similar to what we've got in the gallery here, but on a smaller scale. The pictures at the bottom are what you've got to choose from, A, B and C, and the one at the top is what you're recording. And you just cut between them by pressing A, B or C on your controller. So you go B, C. There are also effects, just like in real telly. You can slice the picture up like that, or you could make it all smeary like that, and you can even put the lyrics on if you want to. It's a bit basic, though, and it does get boring very quickly, especially if you don't like C&C Music Factory's music, and I'm not their greatest fan at all. There are other discs available, though, with music from In Excess and Criss Cross, but the only difference between those discs and this one is the songs. And the worst thing is you can't speed up the process at all. It takes ages. You've got to watch the video all the way through when you make it, and then all the way through at the end. Not brilliant, actually, but there's my effort. Vision mixing team, what do we think?
Rubbish.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. All right, then, we'll stand by camera 2, stand by Violet. Cut to camera 2, cue Violet.
If you've got one of these, a Super Scope for the SNES, you're probably fed up with playing the same old games that you got with it last Christmas. Eyes peeled then for our main review, Yoshi's Safari, the first brand new Super Scope game in ages. Here's Sahale.
People who bought Super Scopes originally have had a very long wait for a new game, so Yoshi's Safari's got a lot riding on it. This is the stage select screen where you can choose one of 7 stages to do in any order. I'm doing level 2, all the others are familiar Mario settings as well. In this game, you play Mario riding on Yoshi's back around the land. You have to shoot all the Goombas and Koopas. If you shoot them, you get coins. If Yoshi accidentally gets hit by a Koopa, then he gets dazed. Also, if you shoot him by accident, he gets a little plaster on the back of his head. This is the end of level boss for level 2. To destroy him, you have to shoot the pink sphere on his back, and also the green fireballs he fires at you. It takes absolutely ages to destroy, just like all the other bosses in this game. It gets really, really boring after a while. Hero got through to stage 3. The gate I'm about to blast lets me choose different routes to finish the level. I also have to jump over these ice barriers. If you don't actually make the jump, then you skid over the ice and it drains your energy quite a lot. The game scrolls like Mario Kart, but it's nowhere near as much fun to play. In this game, there's nothing to do but shoot. This is definitely the best game on the Super Scope so far. That's not really saying much if you've seen the others. Overall, this is a really tedious game.
It's a good blast, but not very challenging. This is the first decent game for Super Scope, but it's not to standards of the other Mario games.
And so the final scores for Yoshi's Safari. The girls gave it an excellent 4 out of 5, but the boys only an average 3 out of 5.
Ah, hello, depressing footers. I'm really depressed and I've written a blues song. I woke up this morning, all crumpled in the sheets. I woke up this morning, ready to do some cheats. I'm feeling really bad, it's so sad, yeah. I'm in a huff, so here's a cheat for Tough Enough on the SNES. All you have to do is press start to get to the mode selection screen, like so. And then press left, 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 right, 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 and then left 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can now scroll through all of the characters like this. Brilliant! What a great cheat! Woke up this morning, feeling so happy. I mean, I was really depressed, obviously, actually.
OK, kids, get them while they're hot. I've got Zool 2 for a £5. No, I'm robbing myself. 4 quid, no, 3, 2 quid, 2 quid, and I'll give you 3 for a £5. Sold to the boy in the green T-shirt.
Actually, it's illegal to copy discs, let alone sell the copies.
Yeah, well, I was just kidding. Actually, Violet's right. Piracy is against the law, and you can get into serious trouble if you get involved in it. This was a raid organised by the police at a car boot sale last year. Markets and car boot sales are the main outlet for pirated games, and it's big business. So far this year, 47,000 pirate discs have been seized. Programmers have come up with different ways to protect their software. There's the code wheel, of course, and we've all spent hours and hours flicking through a manual looking for keywords. There's also protection built into the software, but protection that's been built in can be taken out.
Although this disc is copy protected, a copy program like this one can copy everything on it onto a blank disc. The result? A perfect copy, but with the protection still in it. Now, what I've just done is strictly illegal, so I'm going to destroy the copied disc.
It's a vicious circle. People say the games are too expensive, but the games manufacturers say that for every 1 floppy disk sold at full price in the shops, there are 8 or 9 copies in circulation. That's why fewer and fewer games are being developed for floppy disks. And if you've got any copied games at home, you're breaking the law too. So what you should do with them is chuck them in the bin.
I've decided to get into the fashion business and design my very own bad influence frock. This is a crucial part of the process. I'm being pinned by Nicola for a prototype of my new design. It's always done in this plain fabric, as the real stuff's too expensive to risk cutting if it's not right. However, here at Nottingham Trent University, they minimise the risk of mistakes, as most of the process is computerised. Earlier on, I began designing this dress. Not just the shape of it, but the pattern on the pattern on the fabric too. I'm using our Bad Influence logo to create a new design. First, I scan it into the computer, then it's ready for me to play about with and place it anywhere I want. I've decided on this repeat design, and I can now check out how the fabric will move. The next step is to send it to a special printer, which will print out directly onto fabric. And now for the exciting bit, designing the shape of the dress. This software already has a library of pattern pieces, so I can choose one that's close to the dress that I want and alter it to suit. First, I can see what the pieces will look like in 3D. I'm not happy about the shape here, so I've come back to the flat pattern pieces to alter them. I'm definitely shortening the length, and I want to change the position of the darts and the shape of the neckline. Lastly, I'm checking out how the pattern on the fabric will match up on the joins, so I'm not wasting any fabric when I cut it out. The beauty of this programme is I can have my own personalised pattern pieces plotted out for me. After all that pinning, Nicola's decided to plunge in and cut the real fabric. She's a lot more confident than I am. The one part of the whole fashion business as yet untouched by computers is the catwalk model, but even that's about to change. This is Gloria. She doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and she doesn't have tantrums. She also walks a bit funny, but there's a good reason for that. When the researchers at Nottingham started to create Gloria, the only visual references they could find were these pictures, taken over 100 years ago by a motion picture pioneer called Edward Muybridge. They mapped each frame individually into the computer and came up with Gloria. Add a catwalk, camera angles and lights, and you got yourself a revolutionary new way to model clothes. And now, Gloria's being improved.
When we took a model that was built from the outside, it's a bit like a Cindy doll or an Action Man, and all the movement is rather plastic and wooden. So what we've been doing is animating a body by taking a skeleton and making a skeleton walk, adding flesh to that skeleton, adding muscles to the flesh, and we see then that when a head moves round, for example, the neck muscles will move with the body. The whole intention is to make it flow, to make our movement as natural as possible.
Gloria and I may have a long way to go, but watch out, Naomi Campbell. You've got competition.
Yes, well, I don't think Jean-Paul Gaultier or Fatty Osbeck have got too much to worry about, have they?
Shut up.
Now for this week's news and previews.
Mega Drive owners can help charity next month. Sonic 2 and 4 other top games will be banded together for 50 quid, proceeds going to Childline and the Prince's Trust. Indiana Jones and Bart's Nightmare are also in there, but the bundle will only be available in Dixon's and Woolworths.
If you want to be seen to be mean when you're playing your games, it's no use just slobbing around. No. You need Cred new gameware by Future Shooter. And who better to try it out than our very own super nerd, Namrood. Billed as clothing for screen warriors. It includes jackets and bags and hats and sweatshirts featuring this cool dude. And here's what it looks like on. You'll never be a nerd again, Nam. No, really.
The RAC Rally starts this weekend, and with it, the latest version of the Network Q RAC Rally game for PC and Amiga. You've got a choice of cars with different characteristics, as well as digitised video of the event itself. All the realism without mudding your lounge.
Hello again, scrotty furtlers. Clothes are very important. They say something about you. My clothes, for example, say, hey, trendy guy. Violet's clothes say, hey, look at my funny hairdo. And Andy's clothes say, ouch, let us out of here. I've been making a brand new, fashionable Furtling jacket. It's great. It's got a pocket up here for pencils and tweakers. It's got a special pocket here for my cheat book, and bits and pieces are over here, and separate pockets for chewed and unchewed sweets, and there's a storage area here for my head caps. Right, time for my first fashionable cheat. It's for James Pond 2 on the Amiga. Now, on any of the intro screens, simply type in Little Mermaid. Little-Mermaid, like so. And now, not only will all the levels be opened up for you, but whenever you press return, you'll be able to become invincible. Hey, great. Time for some refreshment, I think. Right, unused. No, I'll save those for later. Yes, used. Oh, and there's two. Andy, Violet, would you like to share a mint?
I think I prefer one that's in mint condition. And so to Piracy Part 2. It's impossible for you and I to copy cartridges. You can't get hold of the blanks, for a start. But take a look at this little lot. This little lot, with the exception of 3, are all fake cartridges. Mind you, some are easier to spot than others. These both purport to be Superstar Wars for the SNES, but no prizes for guessing which is the original and which is the fake. That's the real one, and that's the fake. I mean, just look at the label. It's awful. Gets a bit better, though, with this Spider-Man for the Game Gear. This is the genuine one. This is the forgery. But it's a good picture. The box is all right, but it's completely the wrong shape and the wrong size. Best forgery I've seen is probably this one, for Olympic Gold for the Mega Drive. They've got the packaging right, they've got that distinctive Sega-looking grid, and they've got the picture on the front, although it's too big. And inside, the cartridge itself looks just like a Mega Drive cart, although there are no instructions, and with fake games, there are very rarely instructions. Sometimes you get a photocopied A4 sheet. The thing that's missing from all the fakes is the word Sega or Nintendo, and that's because it's a greater offence to breach a copyright of a logo than it is to produce fake games. And be careful, if you use a fake cart, it might blow up your system.
We got this in Pakistan, and you can get one here if you know where to look. Basically, it copies your cartridge game down onto a floppy disk, then you can get rid of your cartridge and play the game from the floppy disk through your SNES. It's very easy to use and highly illegal, as are other so-called backup devices sold by various shady characters. Oh, and I'm not going to demonstrate this one.
At the moment, the manufacturers are one step ahead of the pirates because of these. CDs are relatively cheap to produce and at the moment almost impossible to copy, although we have heard that there are already some bootleg copies of Mega CD games available in the Far East. The moral of the piece is simple. Don't copy software. It's illegal, it's stealing, and you could be prosecuted for it. And it makes games more expensive for everybody.
And if you come across dodgy software, don't buy it. Tell your local trading standards office. Now for some official games reviews. Star in your very own Oscar ceremony with a new platform hero for the Amiga. Oscar is a cute little chap of indeterminate origin who finds himself in a Hollywood dream world. Here's Angela.
This is a brilliant idea for a game. All the levels represent different types of films. This is a horror level. In it, you've got to collect 15 Oscars for this level anyway. And when you've found them all, you've got to go to the clapperboard. I'm just collecting my yo-yo. This is the only weapon you'll get. You can kill things with it, or you can hang off walls, which is pretty hard. This elephant lets me go back to there when I die. Just collected an Oscar. And this potion lets me go invisible. But it's hard because I can't see where I am. This game's got everything. Good graphics, a brilliant new hero, and excellent playability.
There's been a lot of time and effort put into it, and it shows.
This is a great idea for a game. The character's very appealing and moves really well.
And the scores for Oscar, both the girls and the boys awarded it top marks, 5 out of 5.
Last Action Hero is a movie conversion for the Game Boy. The film was a bit of a dud. How does the game shape up? Here's Andy.
This is basically a beat-em-up platformer, loosely based on the film Last Action Hero. I'm playing the Schwarzenegger character, who is a film hero trapped in a real world. He needs to collect these tickets so he can get fire extinguishers to progress further in the game. More tickets mean more fire extinguishers. Hero baddies just appeared out of nowhere, and they can only attack him with 2 moves. The graphics are too detailed and complicated for the Game Boy to handle. Him jumping over a gap, kill another baddie. Jump over a gap, kill another baddie. It's just too repetitive. This is the worst Game Boy game I've ever played. It's way too hard. It's difficult to see. There are lots of better beat-em-ups.
It's good fun, but too hard. This sort of game does not work on the Game Boy.
This game's too ambitious for the Game Boy. You just can't handle all the action on screen at once.
And the scores for Last Action Hero. For the first time ever, both the boys and the girls gave a game a dreadful 1 out of 5. Looks like one to miss.
Hello, Scrotty Furtlers. This is my latest invention, the Roo Duplicator. It's a machine that makes exact copies of anything, and I'm just about to test it out. Right. Now, stand back, because I don't know how far the field extends. Oh, no! I misjudged the field! No, I did. No, I'm the original Namrood. No, I am. You're just a feeble copy. Well, if you're the original Namrood, prove it. Do a cheat. Right, I will. It's for Fatal Fury on the Mega Drive. When you lose a fight and the continue screen appears, all you have to do is hold down up like so and press A, B and C simultaneously. Let go and keep doing this until you get a maximum number of credits. 9! Ha ha! My ploy worked. While you were cunningly distracted, I reversed the field. Hey, bye-bye, fake Nam. Whoa! Uh-oh.
3 good reasons not to copy anything. If you want to read the data blast, set your video recorder going now. Last week's competition prize was a load of Super Bomberman goodies with the game and a SNES. And the question was, what does SCUBA stand for? Well, the answer is self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. And the winner is Christopher Harrington from Londonderry. Well done, Christopher. 10 runners-up will also receive T-shirts, and your names are going across the screen now. Well done.
This week's competition prize is a Last Action Hero jacket and a portable CD player and the soundtrack from Last Action Hero, and we're going to chuck in Namrood's latest blues CD. Now, the question is quite difficult. Now, we all know that Arnold Schwarzenegger, the star of Last Action Hero, was born in Austria. But what we want to know is which town in Austria was he born in? Phone in your answers on 0891 700 100. Calls will cost no more than 25p, but make sure you get permission from whoever pays the phone bill. Lines will close at midnight on Monday.
Wouldn't it be nice if when you were playing you weren't tied to your console? If, for example, you wanted to wander around and say hello to the camera crew or find out if camera 3's got his shot in focus? No, of course not. Well, now you can, because of this new system, the Dual Turbo. It works just like your TV or video remote control. Infrared signals are sent out from the handset here to this little receiver box here that you plug in where you plug in your normal control pads for the Mega Drive. So now you can just get up and walk around. And it comes with a second controller too. So, fancy a game of 2-player, Violet?
Yeah, I'll beat you again. Bye.
Ta-ra.